Question, do you think it really is a good idea to barbecue inside the house? Welcome back to Cliffieland. This is week in country number 90 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world, and tonight we're up to the nation of South Korea, or technically the Republic of Korea. South Korea occupies the southern half of the Korean peninsula and is bordered by North Korea in the demilitarized zone. Once the center of a large empire, it has been an independent nation since the late 40s and has a fantastic cuisine which is centered a lot around the use of soybeans and rice and noodles, and a particular hot chili paste which we'll see later. Its cuisine is terrific, can be found in restaurants all over the world, and interestingly, it has had an influence on the cuisines of countries far, far, far away, owing to a lot of international trade routes going back centuries. Tonight we're going to be doing 2 dishes, or really 1.5, but first we have to see how things went when we did this whole thing last time around. Well, 4 years ago, I did manage to cook on 2 nights. The first night I made a bibimbap, which is a mixed beef, rice, and vegetables dish. It came out really well, except for the fact I totally destroyed the rice, which was totally my fault. If I'd done it properly, it would have been really great, so oops me. On the second night, I did manage to redeem myself doing a bulgogi, which is a marinated beef recipe, which was really great, lots of flavors, and served that alongside a sushi rice that I made, which was nice, and I actually made my own kimchi. Now, kimchi takes a good amount of time to ferment. I only had 3 days, so mine was okay, but I didn't really cut it right, and it was, okay, but for first try, but not good enough. Also, this time I didn't have enough time to actually try to really make my own kimchi, so I went up serving canned kimchi alongside. My regrets. But tonight I'm taking the advice of a good Korean friend and making his favorite, which is a Korean barbecue, or Kalbi, or Galbi. I don't really know the pronunciation on these things too well, but that's a Korean barbecued beef ribs. And to make that a little bit interesting, we're also making a second recipe for a barbecue sauce known as Ssamjang. Again, I'm sorry if I get the pronunciation wrong. It's a really great sauce. It's supposed to work really well with the barbecue and also as a dip on vegetables if you choose to use it for that. But first, a point about some of those ingredients. We luckily already did have the gochujang hot pepper paste, which we burned our mouths with last week on North Korea when I overdid it. Oops. So didn't have to go hunting for that. But as for the doenjang, or fermented Korean soybean paste, the market I went to just ran out of it and I had to use a different soybean paste. So if it looks wrong, that's why. I'm really sorry, but we'll find out if it tasted okay. Now, we need to see what goes into tonight's recipes. First, for our Ssamjang, or Korean barbecue paste, we'll need 5 tablespoons of doenjang, or Korean fermented soybean paste, 3.5 tablespoons of gochujang, Korean red chili paste, 2 tablespoons of coarsely chopped walnuts, 1.5 tablespoons of rice syrup or corn syrup, 1 tablespoon of minced white onion, 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of sliced scallion, and 2 garlic cloves minced. Then, for our kalbi, or Korean grilled beef ribs, we'll need 1 pound of bone-in short ribs cut crosswise, about 3 inches thick, 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds, lightly toasted, plus more for garnish, 2 teaspoons of freshly ground black pepper, 5 cloves of garlic mashed into a paste, 1 small white onion grated, 2 scallions thinly sliced, and optionally, half of a Korean pear, 3 tablespoons of Korean rice wine or sake, 10 grams of pine nuts, 3 cloves of garlic minced, 1 green onion chopped, gochujang, or Korean hot pepper paste for serving, kimchi for serving, optional, and green leaf lettuce for wrapping. This looks fun! Remember, we're not grilling outside, we're grilling inside, so that pan's gonna be going overtime. Still, here we go! Into a medium bowl, add the doenjang, or Korean fermented soybean paste, the gochujang, or Korean red chili paste, walnuts, rice syrup or corn syrup, minced white onion, sesame seeds, sesame oil, sliced scallion, garlic cloves, and whisk until well combined. Use immediately or refrigerate in an airtight container for up to 1 month. Cut the ribs into thin strips, about 5 millimeters or a bit thinner than 1/4 inch.
This should produce wide, thin ribbons of meat when done right. Score both sides of the meat, make very shallow cuts at half-inch intervals diagonally across the surface, and repeat the same to create a diamond pattern. Wash and peel the half-Asian pear. Remove the core and grind it. Set it aside and wash out the food processor. Peel the half-onion and grind it. Grind the 10 grams of pine nuts in a spice grinder. Then in a bowl, mix the ground pear and 2 tablespoons of the rice wine. Rub the mix on both sides of the meat and leave them for 15 to 30 minutes in the fridge. Meanwhile, in a bowl, mix the soy sauce, sugar, vinegar, sesame oil, sesame seeds, black pepper, mashed garlic, and grated onion, and mix it together. Optionally, you can also add the ground pine nuts, chopped scallion, and the minced garlic. Mix it well. Remove the meat from the fridge. Remove the ribs from the pear and rice wine mixture and place it in the marinade. Rub the mixture over the ribs. Cover and refrigerate for between 45 minutes to 3 hours or overnight if you prefer. Heat a charcoal grill or set a gas grill to high, although we're using a grill pan here. Cook on the hottest part of the grill, flipping once until charred in spots and cooked to your desired doneness. That would be 2 to 4 minutes for medium rare. Serve with rice. Plate the lettuce leaves. Plate the meat. Dress the meat with the sliced scallions. Dress it with sesame seeds. Plate the kimchi alongside, and serve with the gochujang, although we're serving it with the Ssamjang alongside. Wipe plates and serve.
So, how'd that go? Well, aside from having to open every window and having my throat clogged with smoke because I was trying to barbecue inside the house, actual Korean barbecues have big vents on top for this problem, everything came out really, really well. Now, I have to admit, when I got the ribs, I must have gotten either the wrong cut of ribs or I don't know what, because they were really fatty and I wound up throwing a lot out, and also being the very first time I had to cut the meat in those ribbon patterns, I kind of did okay with the first 2, but then there was just chunks. My fault for a number of reasons. Still, it tasted really great. That pre-marinade with the Korean pear really gave it a nice bit of sweetness, and everything else involved with the sesame oil and sesame seeds gave it a really nice smoky flavor. It was really terrific all by itself, and in the lettuce wrap it tasted even better, and with that Ssamjang, which is the Korean barbecue paste, that really took it all over the edge. So I'm gonna give the Kalbi 4 out of 5 globes. Really delicious. Would have been a 5 if I cut it right and got the right cut of meat. And in terms of the barbecue paste, that one gets a 5 out of 5 globes because that was really delicious. My only complaint over the whole thing is between the soy and the soybean paste and the soy sauce, probably a little higher in sodium than I would have preferred. But the level of heat was just really terrific, so I highly recommend this. Check out any universe of actual Korean people cooking this to find any other details on this. But thanks for watching, and tune in next week when we head back to the Middle East, where we try not to repeat what we did for Bahrain like we did last time, and get the food of Kuwait. See you then! And remember, if you'd like to see our streams live when they happen every Tuesday night, be sure to follow us on Periscope or Facebook Live, like and subscribe to be advised when these videos are posted. Remember, links to the original recipes can always be found in the About section, and if you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food that we're cooking, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy eating!